All right, Coach. U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Check, check, hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
21.
On second down, a run with Breida. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Come on, QB, come on. Here we go. 44.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that's knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go! Henry! Right there, 54 Mike. Let's go, tackle, let's go. We got this, we got this.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
2nd and 6. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Now back to throw. And Diggs has it. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll find Diggs once more on the completion. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Back to the ground, this time Cook. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll set up to throw. The open man is Smith. A good pickup there of 20 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. First down, here's the run with Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
Second and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
Short. 51's the mic, boy. 51. Hey, keep it. Hey, get in the weight room.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. His kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Go! Let's go!
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Here we go,
Second
here we
and
go.
6, just inside the 30.
54, block 54. Check pass, check pass.
Twenty-one, 11.
54. Mike's 54.
Hey, Delta.
Right there, 54.
Garoppolo now.
You can't block me.
There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Garoppolo, and he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Next the score, Niners 7, Vikings 3.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
56 to Mike.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. first down. He'll drop to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On play action, they'll throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
That's it. 56. Mike 56.
They'll set up a throw. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
11.
Now Garoppolo. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll toss it to Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, now zapped right back in the other direction. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll drop the throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
All right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
'54's Mike. Echo. Watch 54. Quick talk.
He'll look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards that time. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. On second down, Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
54. Mike 54. I got it.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Cut.
Cook following the penalty. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. 180. 21. They're going to need some therapy after this. Hey, high 7.
Right there, 54.
To throw is Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 34. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
14, Vikings 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points without.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. 2nd and long. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here we go. 180.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Garoppolo gives to Breida. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's a gain of 11, and it's 3rd down.
Here we go.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Got his target, Samuel. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gold is able to put it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw here. And Diggs has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Set, hut, 18 Gator. Here we go.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Mike 56. I'm coming.
a 2nd and 7. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, pick it up.
They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Here we go, here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
21,
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Breida. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
2, go.
Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Come on, baby, come on, let's go.
Now back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Here we go, here we go. 180! 54, right, 54. No game on this defense, no game.
They run with Breida. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
12, fellas, here we go. 54,
Throwing now is Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now it's Breida. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Tackle made there by Trayvon Howard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. That's
complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 21-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Lets it fly for Thielen. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here comes Pettis on the return. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. This is Breida. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
48-yard line.
Here we go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
11.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running.
Here we go.
They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. On 1st down, Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And shedding his way forward. And he's going to get this inside the 30. $13 yards there and a Niner first.
A gain of 13 yards. And a 49er first down.
Here we go. 180.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. The kick by Gold is good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man in the crossing well. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll look to throw here on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
13.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
That would give DeBreda. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
15 for the Niners there and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
21.
On the handoff, this is Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it, and the Vikings pick up the football. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he'll get him. Touchdown, Minnesota. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
The extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
27, Vikings 21.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They run again with Breida, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decided.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw here. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go. Take the Pittsburgh. Mike 54. I got him. Come on. Mike 54. Mike 54. Mike 54. Think you gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this? 54.
He'll look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Ready. Get to the base. Mike 54. Hey, let's get out the
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Back to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Rush in. Big air. Jack Rabbit.
Back to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Pick it up. Kill. Check it out.
knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up second down. Trying to squeeze it in there at this stage of the game. You got to take some chances. Nice job to knock it away, though.
You're so right. Understanding where they are in the game, you've got to take that opportunity and maybe thread the needle. Unable to get it done there.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop him with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They're going to look to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 22-yard line.
That's another Vikings first down. First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
I got you. I got you. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. You're all mine.
They'll set up to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Forced to the ground and incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch the slant. That's it. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Coming to you. Coming to you. Check 52. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
2nd and 10. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Brings up a third down and 10 yards to go.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Check.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot from... Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Niners, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A look now at the defensive starting lineup for the 49ers. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down. So likely a 3 and out on their opening drive. That's not a good omen for a team that's lost 3 straight games.
Too many threes that you're mentioning right there. That's a number they've got to get off of. And the big risk you're running right now is discouragement amongst the ranks. How do you keep them up? How do you keep them motivated? They've got to dial up something to give themselves some confidence.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. On the return is Pettis. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run for the first time here with Matt Breida. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 15 carries, 119 yards, and the score.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And to give this time to the tailback. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
And everyone always tells me the fullback is leaving the game, and then I say, hold it a second. What about Kyle Juszczyk? Two-time Pro Bowler, maybe the best all-around fullback in the game for his ability to block, catch, and occasionally run the football inside.
65.
From the 31, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Here we go. 180! Hey, alert! Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
This is Coleman. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
11.
They'll try to run with Breida. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Matt Breida with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right.
Now the ball comes loose, and now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make it.
After review of the play.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
21.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. 180.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They go counter with Breida. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, it looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here we go.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th.
12.
Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on fourth.
One, Omaha.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Here we go.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. The Vikings have got him. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt. And the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
they can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Now a play fake here on first down. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. This is Richard. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He'll swing this one out to Richard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st down, Richard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 37.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run on 1st down. Richard fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 24-yard line. We
always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Throwing is Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Gold to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
54 Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
To throw again on second down. Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Richard. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Richard, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On first down, here's Breida. Oh, nice move at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
21.
Out of the shotgun, Breida, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
White.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. So we've reached the intermission. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Rolling to his right. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So they elect to pass there on the two-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins, and Diggs has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
One of the selling points of the in route is against the quarterback, a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Cousins now from the 50. And this one complete to Smith. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quan Alexander able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. 20. 12, here we go. Check 9, check 9.
They'll toss it to Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kick.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The end result, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Cousins to throw it. Complete. It's Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Olabisi Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Vikings. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
4 receivers now, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. 2nd down and 4. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Hey, Haywood! White!
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. Deep ball for Goodwin. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They go play action here on first down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Richard trying the right side. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. They go play action. Cousins. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for a strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Here we go. 180. Hey, alert. 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 Check.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. 20.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Just 3.
11.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, gun.
Now a give coming right is Breida. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and we have it in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Here's Breida. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They run with Breida. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the 49ers, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.